Senior member.
I'm just a member.
No,
the best center on near Air Coast Parliament. And I'm happy we have a lawyer here. Yeah,
we have lawyers.
We have two. Yes, we have lawyers. Yeah. Friction and between the legislature and the judiciary. Lawyer Apia Dankoma. In free also. I don't know if you saw this coming from after Honorable Haruna Idrisu announcement campaign I say near their processes now on Thursday and speaker say the Supreme Court but the whole thing put together in free the weekend movement for change Kumasi. In fact, well, my basso because me who Kumasi no me mum the Jim Nsem meeting I have a Jim Nsem.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Jim Nsem. I don't know Jim Nsem.
No, the numbers I saw.
I'm sure it's for him. Na me chia me brapping me offer. So go there or me offer.
Yeah.
So go or me offer. Been to me enka brapping. Na me aminia. Papa Grace, so I mentioned Papa Grace. More people nice, but I don't think so. Me, China are affected.
Yeah,
and we are allowed to have different mindset, but it shouldn't affect. One can you feel say they should know better now. Much is someone a year critical, much is on party over the country. Majority of Ghana when pushed to the wall. In the face of catastrophic leadership, they always choose their country over their party. So I am for one because I'm say Ashanti region they are something funny there. Oh yeah, say yeah, it be something. Obia Ofri people can say he still believes in the ideals and principles of the founding fathers of the party. So liberal democratic ideals.
Yeah,
ideals are NPP party, a deep party for or more ideals, or more beliefs, and settle with one kind of personal ideals, new beliefs. As you see, I know, or my threat to national to Ghana and Kasano. I want to be coin DC because believe my clad in yellow. What I say?
Yes.
I'm already know, or more, I find a home in the movement for change. Maybe a representative values and principles are the whole dear. It's a way just crave.
Okay.
You see what will happen.
Mate.
You see what will happen.
Mate.
Hope it's a very good question. Say, the senior after Haruna Idrisu, a committee statement did go that route.
Okay.
Because
I didn't hear.
Because we can't take 97 and I'm with them. So we have offered here, but which one we are? Article 97 1 J and H now. Or say a member of parliament shall vacate his seat in parliament, if he lives there or seeks to remain in parliament as an independent member. I don't see any ambiguity in this. Until far away, not far. I think 110 110. I am a parliament. The right to, for instance, make their own
be impeached or questioned in any court or placed out of parliament.
Now, now, court attempted to stay execution. How crumple issues were in my view. How crumple issues was this? Can say what you are practicing is a constitutional democracy. Then the outside in a manner which is adverse to the constitution, then the court will have the power to interfere. Speaker, now I'm informing of a vacancy based on Article 97.1. And for the court to also use procedure by way of an expert application, where the court of say, oh, is it executable?
Yeah.
And it also raised the question: Can the court stay execution and action of parliament? A huge constitutional crisis. A huge constitutional crisis. So the issue is that what should Parliament do? Because also can further to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected as a member of Parliament. Ghana Parliament say therefore seats no vacant. Just an information. Because so kind 97 now, or immediately you leave your party, you shall vacate your seat. So I'm vacate your supporting independent candidate. Another candidate, you are deemed to have left the party.
Yeah.
For people like myself, I don't know. Minimum be
their constitution.
Independent.
Yeah.
Can you convince some members of their parties?
No. What constitution they can?
How many members of the party?
Yeah.
So what the proper forum per the constitution itself is the High Court. The also kind 99 now.
Yeah.
I say the High Court shall have jurisdiction to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected as a member of parliament or the seat of a member has become vacant.
Yeah.
So there are so many issues. But for me, what is worrying is there's a present here. You see, we are under the system of what the rule of law, any rule by law, a rule of law. Rule of law, so you say, eschew issues of arbitrariness, eschew issues of an abuse of discretion. Takes away unpredictability of the law, no? But others here, self-execution of more than 10 days, and the assumption of powers to interfere with an arm of government, which is not a constitutional crime, because then what they are saying is, and the best idea, Parliament for a ako pass him maybe, and I'm approve some transaction.
Yeah,
obviously medical court seeking interpretation. The automatically there's a state of execution on that process. Then we would right now not to say, I can't say you leaders no. Or too interested in defending their parochial interests
and how we can deal with it. But you made a point referencing Article 99 and the power that the High Court has over these issues. Now, for this case of jurisdiction to hear and determine any question whether the seat of a member of parliament has become vacant. I'm
assuming because some folks say an interpretation issue in the court. Supreme Court. Refer to the
Supreme Court. For interpretation.
Okay. But to go the way and now problematic, mommy. Because usually all the case, substantive case called echo court or original jury. If you say one person will be taking action B or something, maybe you can go by way of an injunction, interlocutory injunction.
Yeah.
But that's tough execution because at the end, even the Supreme Court on unfettered powers. Because the whole idea of a constitutional democracy is to limit a problematic mommy. Okay. And sir, listen, I in my
firm lawyer Andrew Apia Dankwa of the Movement for Change and yete nenkano latex foam my dress back. That's why boy papa latex foam I'm the kunya crown so abeka ho tigana ha bia open my dress papa think it to mo akọ akesiem nkunya ode bedia ho latex foam your partner for life. Alaji.
Oh, my lawyer for Nkasa.
Oh, there be.
At least we are students.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. No,
I mean, Chona.
I like your piano to me.
See you this weekend.
Yeah.
But quite to me recover and in Nemakakrano. Yeah, vigilance so free adano. It's a very sad moment for the family. The Cornerstone International School.
Yeah.
I mean, for a day, try and be brave. Ghana for be bromo brochinya, Mpensenpensenmu, and then Colombo brochia, Mondam for Neo Moninia. I had dream be brave. Into my ato, Casani be one of my own trust.
And I pay a foot to the Amana.
Yeah. CJ,
Doc,
my main King Kain case him. We are Machimka. Also, no arm of government or agency of state, including the parliament, is a law unto itself, because without assent is acting in a manner that is inconsistent with, in contravention of, or ultra-vires to the constitution will render parliament the actions, orders, rules, or procedures of parliament that contradict, are inconsistent with, or purport to confer on parliament powers not vested by the constitution will sin against Articles 1. Officers, orders, practices, conventions, or procedures can be said to be independent of or exempt from the limitations imposed by the Constitution. The crackran say, "Oshe, 1992 Constitution.
Yes.
Parliament is a creation of the Constitution, and I'm glad precedents be onoma aba ebia agentreno very different, but in sema akosono." The Right Honorable Speaker Bagbin, Obaye no say, okay, based on any reasoning of the ruling, any evidence are about to bear, say these members of parliament Trial Commission in the context of the 2024 Abato Ayekwakotono, aka 47 days, say 3 2 on the majority side, Ebeko independent. 1 or independent, our parliament as independent. Beko on the ticket of the party. And 1 from the NDC, Ebeko independent. Alexander Afenyo Markin. At the S party. Echo Supreme Court. Now so Bekaya say the S party kwa. It has some procedural matters in the judiciary and at the legislature, and they all have separation of powers, The doors of the interpretation of the Constitution, rests with the Supreme Court. It is the Chief Justice who does that on behalf of the judiciary. Likewise, even the Speaker. The fine or the stay of execution. The Supreme Court for interpretation of Article 90. Let's look at this. Omo pese omujna as independent. Article 97 1G say if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party. Yes. Of 6th of January 2021. Yeah. These persons have not left their party to join another party. That's the question we must answer. Number 2.
Really?
Oh yes.
Says Debbie. I'm Mpensenpensenmu, Papa friends. Peter Kwachaka.
Debbie T.
Okay.
CJ. Tio. Good. Now they are seeking to be independent candidates in the future parliament.
Yes.
Which is the 9th parliament. On the assumption that they win an election. That's it. 97(1) if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party. Has that happened? No. Now, or seeks to remain in Parliament, a member of Parliament as an independent member, as an independent candidate, and joins a political party. Has that happened?
Yes. What has happened in the case of Esiama?
He has not joined the party. He is standing on an election in the next 47 days on the future parliament. And I have a lot more cases in reference. Right, CJ? Is an administrative justice, instructed party, Honorable Dr. Richard Anani, 2007. Meka Opoto Kasim. Or say, constitution that is supreme. As the interpreter of that constitution, this court's view of the meaning of a constitutional a provision in the constitution means what the Supreme Court says it means, and not what even Parliament has declared it means. CJ, there are lots of cases in reference. Yes, but then it's undemocratic, it's unlawful, it's unparliamentary, and undiplomatic. Because, CJ, to be fair, there is a majority in Parliament. In Yama NDC for and with a press conference that they did, it was not a hard party to do what they did. Now, CJ, to be fair, and say, move your alternative government, wait and win it on a democratic manner. They say you can even cancel betting tax and all those things that have not even come from, that has not come from the executive. Sometimes I still go by the view, say, the majority, the Honorable Dr. Keselato Forsen. That's my conclusion on it.
Is Parliament still a master of its own rules?
Parliament is a at the very initial stages of this, CJ, make I say, so far Bible, now for Quran, and any other way, who say yes, it is as the Spirit of God leads. Mm-hmm. But if you want to understand it very well, that's all called Catholicism. They say go to the Pope for interpretation, and whatever the Pope says is the final thing. That's what happens and then even when you come to Islam, they'll tell you go to the Sheikh or go to the Chief Imam for interpretation, because in the be a Quran ekano ebia na wa adwini bu onoma to meet here. So the learned sheikhs and the learning is bad taste of an alternative government in the future. Omo magana for who say, in fact, see the tumi crack
Bwache Dankwa of the MPP and yete nkano. Alaji.
A lawyer for an akasari me bwa. Akanya lawyer for, but answer na mekasa no. Anope me bara mitio. afenyu mike na ose mu nyina joyful nyina ne munya adwuma no moya ade pa because me say kai menu say fuel prices kosoro menim so ya wa anu anko ya to petrol den nti I just want you to know say Ghana ne ehemu no ana dum so ya hacho kwabenya Madina dum so ya otineti eneba na ochina aba nti me pese me say atwe na dwene ko say dum so aba then okan bibi afenyo making otumirika call Supreme Court mpatona case ben or the Supreme Court o call ya no me bisa case ben onya hwe nti ade na ba ya otumirika call Supreme Court at a time speaker nka hwe because ye be kan was on cry dey we can call Supreme Court da nti ano no so no efiri what Supreme Court one munye above the constitution masa ohun say ankrofo na tenasi o no mo de o madwendwene baaye no mo de churo laws no Supreme Court and what about those who say law no eye edeboa amansan anameboa ansan no churo law no wo mo churo law no nyansa na ne baabi oba e bewe nanim but ye be tumilika ko Supreme Court so Supreme Court to interpret say oba anawebema especially sadini kotia a certain political party an MPP man can go to the Supreme Court and say no office say the kwanya first wa ye declare NDC as adentina minu no kasano one kind about speakers or say Supreme Court for no wo call wo msenya nsanim emra me etena obi azukuntum but one can ye Aaron speaker man kokoi the same constitution no na man kokoi okotu ya lawyer is it not the same constitution o man kwema wo mu debate wo man kwan da bi clear enti wo no based on this no asiama wo MPP so wa mo respect na so mbeto atwene a wo mo amasem but your constituent operators butchers seamstresses farmers teachers and true constitution omo ya lawyer for no sa constitution ni de yenya kwatwere ne yete ase nti na etworo ye mpacho se wonya MPP ni a ubetimi afale on the ticket of the MPP CJ wonya MPP man
who is eligible
to contest you must be a card bearing member you must be this to become a card bearing member because I will say one provision now allow to become to be eligible MPP me kwa standing no I have already crossed carpet I have entered I have accepted their to file notice of pool no buy Adam sika incrofo we say womatiti media I was aware that said that vacancies must be declared Anna enye speaker and can say speaker is only coming was it there shall be freedom of speech debate and proceedings in parliament the court and you know where affected me by any court or place out of parliament because this Supreme Court look at the panel now I'm not saying say they are not qualified but say we will be a sabi who person Ghana for you to moi masa gau woman nyina nipa no ni nyina akofo do na point be just 2 years enti no person say the how many is it 13 or say 15 members ni nyina one more benya omuni that's number 1 number 2 minia examples anunti na magana for nyina boafunu say e bi o ma starting point kay dom level unim yampene Supreme Court e de o mu seda e delay say wo mu chief justice ni wa o mu nya obi obema date chief justice ban no betwa mu ko Cape Coast anata crowd for your conference ya be registration aje mensa I cancel or limiting it to only district offices and sorry you cannot do it at district levels alone it must commission is to make sure say obia we di 18 and near breso person vote no make sure say what first elections no cases be brave say Supreme Court one of the reasons I mean lawyer but say one be deprive those people no constituency of any sal you refi and the Supreme Court no start to say yes say masa how do you think say Ghana form benya trust omomo cases LJ Supreme Court judges Ghana for start to omo criticize no assemble the chief justice kai was here adwuma na egu na dɔɔso and omo pɛ more judges no omo timi de awie adwuma no ntem and at a time court because when him say one interpretation no on him because if the interpretation was correct After man wouldn't have gone to the Supreme Court if he knew say oh I don't know the constitution no any standing orders no 18 and he say nkrofo we say they will say declare omo seat in vacant especially parliament yenya nkasa na authority yenya nkasa na adwuma identity na makokoi wo rule ya no enne attach ya mi bada mi tie no wo ya cha nobody wants to pass the back way and be. Is that what we want to tell? Is that what the MPP is telling Ghanaians? Tasania Baumiase na say problems no was solving in na oba obenja dia was solve. So the mentality of the MPP that can never stand in any democratic principles. Master, I was shocked. And no bagbing on Tumra. Hey, wojinani kwanso den ex party motion. And kwafo come say my 10 days or say 1 week. Was it 1 week? No, normally question 10 days. Ex party, I 10 days. Now, adia me pesa fama me buy so. No, adia me say the bia kan which is 10 days maximum. No, Supreme Court is say moon ko until the kingdom come. And to say yen, you better see near determine. And that determination, now the man go quite the interpretation. If you don't qualify, if you don't join the MPP, can you become woman a triaye? They were sunu or sununu and what ho. And then what are you telling me again? Masa, wait a clear. Yan what MPP is trying and you say sovereign state will reside with the people. I'm going to the Supreme Court to challenge, say the sovereign state does not reside with the people. Now when you Supreme Court woman so sabi bia or china nyame boa. As of now, we have one majority side, and that is the NDC led by it. And then it is correct.
Alhaji Amadou Sorogo of the NDC and Etienne Kan. So we went till tomorrow. But sir, a company Societe General Ghana listed company ubetime akọ from pa nti adwuma wo ye no mojuma ketua fa SG Ghana sa akwanyen eda ho edema mbebo mu hyehyɛ kakra mum ewo ho Societe General Ghana the future is you. Now 30th to the 2nd of November and Ecobank Joy News Habitat nyina under one roof and this adwumadie ye de ebrel ewo Accra International Conference Center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Virtual Securities Africa, Yoben Security Doors, Clifton Homes, No Solutions Limited, and ABS Glazing Limited, and almost yes, Ecobank join political undertone when they are air cost and its implications because implications was one of lawyer.
Confusing political or legal implications.
The politics and the Supreme Court and its implications on so they run yeah.
And for me, you know, it's about my conversation here. It's about the constitution democracy and a rule of law. And any rule of law.
Yeah.
One of the key focuses in that a desire to reduce arbitrariness, a desire to govern and also reduce the use of discretion as much as possible, and that is also say predictable. What I say, I just say, take a step. I just predict say, we are saying to bring about some certainty.
Absolutely,
in your politics.
Yeah.
Into you take a decision, you know, the amount for be answered that. I'm complaining too much. Was it clear? And you about say clear.
Yeah.
You know, 99. So clear. 99. Article 99. When they join in doubt, your constitution say one day supreme. That's how constitution is used and the supreme say parliament a year to find attorney general.
Yeah.
Say where parliament also acts in a manner which is outside of the jurisdiction, because parliament also more limits. Because some there have been so many sorts of organ has a parliamentary shemra. Supreme Court has declared unconstitutional because it is not legal.
If you remember, the Supreme Court. I can see a sponge certain things from
your standing on this. Yeah.
Because that was their purview, but not with this.
What I say?
Yeah.
But haven't said all this. Fortunately, you're the benefit of precedents. The law, no. Or more dream partisanship, too much as against how I advance. Even when speaker no take action, no majority. And now two, all kind of cases, no. Say issue about vacancy. I didn't think any individual members of parliament and they court, fighting rather than is on majority. What is this locus? Maintain that say because we are majority leader, you know. Say so me MP that means to me. And I was go MP no. And I mean you are part of that obey MP. That's a friend say because we are majority. We busy body.
But don't you think it's about numbers now?
Some can say.
Yeah.
Who say we honorable MP for
Achiase constituency.
And we say MP for Fomena. And you take action against him. Say it should be honorable Andrew Isiama. And I just say a court to challenge because we all stand to be educated.
Yeah.
What I say.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, say, the way more you know, I'm convinced, say, clearly, about say, you opportunity and a privilege, and just a high office, you know, or more drain on my home, and you're more drain on my home, or drain, not 138. She say, about 136. Sorry, 135. Isn't among you. Among so many things that they can do, no, among you. To be honest, say, hey, it's a by a majority, even for say 1 month or say 2 months, or until without having any regard to principle. It is determined. So if they don't believe, if they do not believe in this, tell 2020, no, when almost speak not clearly, because per their arguments, no, you know what Michael Kwe here last week, no, not a year. The president here acts actually impeachment
with an illegality.
Don't worry. We need 185, which is not what we are talking about.
Lawyer.
But the process is not the process.
What I say? Intro Assembly.
Lawyer, stick to your issue.
Progress me about. I mean, I call for impeachment, and then I'm saying shouldn't contact impeachment. As I say, at the corner, a follow more passion to go to court, no, and it because of a desire to see a desire for self-preservation in terms of ananka majority, because of your party's issues. You say 100 you know, you do situation you call minority. As what's the confusion there? Let us say me rather than what our wait say we do collectively, you know. Is yes, it shall. We say maybe we should advance procedures now clearer as to the process kind. We say yeah politics now. Young Kai said didn't say politics. Didn't say dumb party. Or didn't say quality position purpose no self focus no. Even by young Kasa parochial interest, because you see the political culture now you to criminal. The 2020 if they really believe in what they are saying, 2020 now I'm going to take you or more speak on their own. When the speaker took a similar decision, and it's not an argument to say because MPP for throw speaker no say obey from party no. The point is under MPP constitution. So we say and then friends say call independent automatically.
Yeah.
Cynthia, is she an MPP member today?
No, per the MPP constitution.
Is she a member?
No.
A friend say,
but I say lawyer Andrew appeared down kwa and out in the car. Mami nchia ora Bright Obenyako. CEO Great Kofata Motors Ura Bright Obenyako na minchia Ura Boafo or London Ura Boafo. Good morning to you. What is not good politically
near NDC for you know it is not good. Near Semi Kasaba. The Honorable Sorogo. Powerful member. In fact, it doesn't advance their political cause. To be honest. Because, right? Mitie or say we would jealously guard our lawfully earned status. I mean, it's laughable. What is here? Obia is say or jealously guard a lawfully earned status is the new patriotic party. Because on the 6th of January 2021, on the assumption of the 8th Parliament, lawfully on end status, vis-a-vis yako constituency to constituency, police station by police station. And to be fair, even my petition Kramodiko Supreme Court, you didn't have. They have even forfeited the December election. It is the majority that we have today. It's a clear, decisive majority we are taking into the night. We're claiming winning back our seat. We don't have these issues of nafedi ebebanta. Say diplomacy no omuti and now say global news for epic here. It doesn't look good. If NDC wants to show maturity, and the status of parliament can either change or remain. Into any reasonable minority will not cause their leadership say change majority because it is a legally end.
But I also feel you are also crying. The MPP in parliament is crying like Abofra or the ball
Of course. Say if we don't have an or the Bible, now say the Holy Spirit say where's more an achieve to give interpretation. That's where we are now. What you say? It politically doesn't look good. He should rise above partisan politics. Number one. Number two, I'll plead with him. Say, Speaker Bagbin, he earned his name as an officer of the court, as a lawyer. That's how he earned his name before he came to the chamber. One of the longest serving fine gentlemen democracy speak. Yen cross carpet is an majority in 24 hours or 48 hours. It doesn't happen.
But that's it.
So the reasoning that the speaker gave and the stay of execution of
Speaker my reason. Speaker only communicated what is in the constitution, and then what his Anukran was like I said, even though Sir President na happy no, and ya dear a bomb by force to say me so, but you guide it. Ojina wo kaza president ejaje zabula kai ntino others ntie na emomu de e ba se ne wo mu speaker ne kai MPP for majority. He didn't care. He can go after all your control. You got what the point I'm making? Now you how many? 169 members of parliament against NDC 107. And in your year back free man idea. Encore. And then no one names us a born or to the abobino. A born a cookers why they channel. And then I go back say after so mukumu nipangochi and kwara a man for party boys a train or musa police for a koto edit to about to send a 1 year one sania kukunu will make nipa what they did in 2020 now. And simple and straightforward. To send a minuano kayano. Baby I could do it here. Hey, Masa Yam Fatakashi. And now almost speaker experience one funny reasoning. Oh yeah, kwada. But what I want to say is say whether we like it or not, so long we say we are speaker no parliament him the executive and supreme a constitution no and a supreme. Now constitution is supremacy no, it is derived from the constitution. No way and no one here now. Me lawyer.
Oh, no, you said the right thing. The Ghana for the Supreme.
Oh, Mamin Kasa.
The Ghanaian people exercise their Supreme.
Oh, Charlie.
Doctor, but my Alaja Anunsi. Alaji, you have the
Pamano Chano Nini say. As 3P say, Obi Betty Mebejina say, one more majority of Mokako winning 2024 election. Look, Parliament have no power to pass any law to alter the decision or judgment of any court as between the parties subject to that decision or judgment. And you know, Parliament is supreme. Laws in Parliament be personal. I was say any constitution is consistent. Any say cover constitution the Parliament is supreme. Supreme Court is supreme. One interpretation and then you want review. Woman gets it to me trans say, oh yeah, mistake. I didn't pass it and now you're wrong. Why mistakes be brave? Almost a birth certificate and your proof say, oh, interest say, oh yeah, we are a Ghanani. I am wrong. Meaning say one day another Supreme Court be review. Because the Supreme Court is not supreme, that is why there is a provision for it.
Okay, but
politics.
Say Supreme Court. Okay, but I mean, besides say Supreme Court me am from so a lawyer for I am from so. What is the methodology?
The appeal. Say Supreme Court a mistake.
Yes, but the same panel.
No,
it can be different panel. Even the same panel can decide.
Oh, okay.
And I said, look, it depends upon the inconsistency.
President, there have instances are take it plenty instances. So maybe 2020. Now yes, I'm writing here. There may be 6 years down the line, the law of thought and negligence here. It was about duty of care. No, we are already first like a three-pronged approach.
My other large matter about, but I'm busy seeing the kakra.
What Jeffrey man?
Experience.
Yes, experience. At least me call diplomacy.
Okay, Alaji.
And zero. You derive authority from the constitution now.
Yeah.
As you want subject to the provision. Who speaker won't interpreted this? Look, you're Supreme Court Baba interpreted 1110 Bema and the inconsistency we must be consistent. And neither say a greener and
I say green.
Say a green.
You don't want a situation where the people are without representation. Then South. Then South.
Judge quarter. So Supreme Court a pass judgment. Now Obi Buswa because it's clearly
so contempt, but contempt. But what if Speaker so say Supreme Court also act in contempt?
In contempt of a parliamentary.
Yes, parliament also powers of contempt.
Yes.
So what Speaker say Supreme Court? Every time say a constitutional crisis. So right now, 2 hours of government will be engaged in a needless fight. Because what if speakers also say also will interfere in my proceedings, also in contempt of parliament.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he put the foot down.